Imagine this. You just finished a great user interview and you go to check on the notes from the team observing the session, and it's like, what happened? Where are the notes? I'm Ash, I work as a UX researcher, and you can get the team to help with some note-taking, but without the right setup, you can end up with a mass of notes that don't really add up, or worse, no notes at all. So in this video, I'll share what I've learned to get teammates to collaborate on the note-taking in a way that it's easy for them and helpful to you. In case you're asking yourself, do we really need others to help with the note-taking? Shouldn't I do all the work by myself? There are at least two good reasons to get teammates involved. The first one is people want results and they want it now. A common way to speed the process is to ask the team to help with the note-taking. The second reason is that this is a good way to avoid one observer bias. When sessions are only observed by one person, there's a risk that that one person's interpretation or bias could influence the notes. Having more eyes and ears, especially from people with different backgrounds, lead to a more diverse perspective on things. Did I hear you asking about AI? We'll come back to AI by the end of this video. We've covered the benefits of having note-taking with the team, but how do we get the team to help with the note-taking? I have three suggestions. The first thing is to make it easy and straightforward for anyone on the team to join these sessions. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm sending out a calendar invite with a reminder and a link to the note-taking document, instructions, how to take notes. I'm trying to make this very straightforward. This means making the note-taking instructions accessible. And this leads us to point number 2, setting expectations. Once they have been asked to help with the note-taking, they may not be sure how to proceed, what the work is. So my advice is for you to share as much as possible upfront. Give them the confidence to join you in the sessions. Again, you can get creative and have a video sharing instructions, make it more personable, or you can do what I did on other occasions. I just ran a pilot before the actual interview session, and that means I would ask one of the team members to play the part of the participant, and I would invite the others to join, observe, and take notes. It's an opportunity to practice the note-taking, and you can always run through ground rules and best practices. Point 3 in convincing people to join in with the note-taking is to sell the actual value of the research work. What does the team gain by joining these sessions? First, note-taking is fairly straightforward and gives the team a chance to hear things firsthand. So you can always ask, what do you prefer, watching a film or reading a review about the film? It's the same principle that applies here. And if that's not enough, remember that if your company claims to be customer-centric, you can appeal to that. Remind the team that it's a chance to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And it's one step to becoming more customer-centric. And I admit to resorting to some creative titles for these sessions. You're trying to make this exciting because it is exciting. Any observer for these sessions will get to learn about the customers without having to set up sessions and do all the prep work. Okay, you've made it easy for the team to join. You've set up expectations. You sold the value of the research work. What's next? Remember what happened to me and my team at the beginning of the video? The reality is my teammates did take notes, but because I didn't share any rules or structure, everyone did it in their own way. Let's start with tools to use. We want a tool where people can work together and see what each other is writing. I know this can feel a bit intimidating, but it has some great benefits. For one, knowing that others are participating and can see what you're writing creates this healthy social pressure. It makes people more committed instead of just showing up and kind of checking out. The other thing is when note-taking is done as a group, you get exposed to how others are doing their note-taking, capturing their observations, and that pushes you to level up your own note-taking skills. Another advantage is you get to see what is resonating with the group as soon as the session is finished. You get to see on the screen what are the key points standing out. It does lead to repetitive notes. You could have circumstances where everyone is capturing the same quote or reaction, but that's not a bad sign. It means multiple people saw the moment as noteworthy, and it's very easy afterwards to consolidate these repeating post-its during the analysis phase. So not to worry about these duplications. Which tools would fit the bill then? You can go old school and just use something like Excel or any other spreadsheet. This is the one I know lots of researchers used in the past. But nowadays, with the popularity of these whiteboard tools, it feels easier to recreate the live note-taking experience with post-its. Showing an example here, you could use Miro or Figma. The pros of these tools is that they're visually engaging, they have custom templates, but they require sharing in advance with people that haven't used these tools before because there's a bit more of a learning curve. As for best practices, it's good to share a couple of examples of simple do's and don'ts. So the note takers understand the purpose is to make notes that are clear, brief, and fixed on a single observation. Here, for instance, can you tell which note is best? There's no need for note takers to try and transcribe all the words. Ideally, you're recording the session, and that means it's easy to get an automatic transcription afterwards. So at this point, the note takers should focus on the highlights. The other thing is to focus on what is happening, not on possible solutions or new ideas. Capturing a quote is a good way to keep track of important moments, but you can include something that was observed. In fact, look at these two examples. You see the quote on the left, which says one thing, and then the behavior says something different. Imagine if you relied only on the quotes, you would miss important information. The other thing is to adopt these rules that would really help with a quick glance, get a sense of how a session went. Color. You could advise note takers to choose green for any positive comment, any delightful moment, yellow for neutral, and red for any negative feedback. When you get to the end, even to those who haven't joined the session, it's easy to see if the team came across more positive comments, negative comments, and I usually recommend using a different color for things you're not sure about. Could be related to the moderator, or a technical issue or a question that you have. These are points that the researcher can learn from and make better for next time. If you're using a tool like Miro, you have the option of using tags, and this is very powerful. You can have a tag for the participant, so even if you move the post-it around, you will know which participant the note relates to. And I recommend using a tag for the note taker as well, so it's easy to see who wrote what. The other thing to decide beforehand is the order in which these notes would show up. You can more or less know when the notes were taken during the session if you have to rewatch and check the note. Okay, now is the time to talk about AI. There are research tools today that claim you can use AI to create notes based on the interviews. In fact, you can today feed an interview transcript to an AI chatbot like Claude. It can kind of do the okay job if you don't have anyone else to take notes with you. Let me know if this is something you'd like me to cover and I can go more in depth. Once you have all the notes taken on the interview or usability testing, what happens next? Yes, the key analysis stage. This is for the next video when I share a step-by-step way to turn notes into research insights. It's probably the one thing that has the biggest impact on the research results. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.